Hey Steven, I wanted to share my thoughts on your first independent project, which was a book cover for Franny and Zoe. Um, and now I really want to look at your second independent project, but first I wanted to let you know what I thought of your first. Um, I really like the concept. I too made a book cover for Franny and Zoe. And I also like the way that you describe the options that you had. I like that you describe how you chose Franny and Zoe because of simple locations. And you're right, they are locations that aren't super detailed. They're not complex. They're not like, oh, they can only happen in this city or in this area, although that is what was happening at that time. It was very much like, oh, I can imagine it in my own type of city. While in comparison to the novel by Eggers, he makes it seem as though like it only occurred obviously like in San Francisco, at the bay, at the beach. Like he gives very detailed accounts of the locations, so it doesn't leave a lot of room for imagination in comparison to Franny and Zoe. But I really like that aspect of your project, that's why you picked Franny and Zoe. I hadn't even considered of that when I drew my own cover, or when I composed my cover, because I didn't draw it. I think in terms of it being a drawing, I think you did a really good job. I like the style in which you did it in. I think it's really unique, and the way you captured both of them. I think they look really unique, and I think they're cute. And I too, I hate to admit it, judge a book by its cover. I hope you don't have to use this against me in future moments, but the original cover definitely lacked creativity, and it lacked something to draw you in because it's only white and green or whatever. And so I think you did a really good job of creating a unique cover that would stand out from like a traditional book cover or from the original book cover. So I really like that you did that, and that's also part of why you did it. I want to say that I wish it would have had a little more color besides the green and the white, because although that does play a lot of like respect to the original cover, I think it would have just been fun to have different colors, and it would have like drawn you in a little bit more instead of just like green, because I do feel like, for me, as someone from the audience or whatever, I do know like the vibes of Franny and Zoe, and I do think the green is important within the story. Like I feel like the green captures the story somehow. It gives off the right vibe, but I feel like there's also other colors that could potentially contribute to the cover and make it stand out and make it embody the work as a whole. What else? Something that stood out to me originally was just the style of the cover, in terms of like how you drew it, because it stood out to me. I really didn't expect it to be like, when people draw a thing, it wasn't like in an online form. It wasn't like drawn perhaps on like Photoshop or even like notepads like online, you know what I mean? Like it seems like you went to extra lengths to draw it and create it like that, which I really respect, and I'm just really glad that you were able to share it. And I feel like at the end of the day, you created this book cover with the right intentions going into it, and I think that it shows within the cover and the amount of effort that you put into it. So I applaud you for that. I feel like you did a really good job of capturing the things that matter to you within the book, and that it wasn't just specific scenes, but Franny and Zoe's personality like right on the cover, so that they could see kind of what's in store, but in a cartoon format, which I would say isn't as traditional for the sake of the book because of the subject and the topics that it talks about. So obviously for my book cover, I didn't do it as a cartoon, but I like the way that you did it. I think that it still captured them, and like it captured their personalities in cartoon format, which I would normally think isn't as enticing, but in this situation it is, because you did a really good job of it. And I'm really glad you were able to share that with us. So thank you, Stephen.